Yes, everybody, so when you think about intellectual people, you think about your Jordan Petersons, your Ben Shapiro's, and your Stephen Crowders. And there's absolutely no doubt that these are intelligent people and intellectual speakers. But there's one thing that they all have in common, and nobody on the planet can argue against this. They are all clear and precise speakers. I have never seen any of these guys stutter or panic when it comes to their views getting challenged.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
And I think the reason why they can articulate themselves so well is because they know the foundations of what they're talking about to like an extreme level. So what are the things we can do to express ourselves very concisely and accurately, you know, the concepts, the ideas and the philosophies that we find in books without having any problem whatsoever. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to instantly become a better thinker. So in order to become a better and clearer thinker, you've got to know your shit. You have to know the foundations of the idea, the concept, or even the philosophy like the back of your hands. And the process of learning all new information can be hard and frustrating. We've all been there, but we're trying to cram some in our heads and it's just not going in. You've got to understand like the learning process has to be sort of a passive one without forcing it or adding stress on the process, because it kind of gets to a point where it's like diminishing returns. There's so much stress you're putting on yourself, it's not helping anybody. So we've got to allow the information to be like thought on and pondered on and like digest through, you know, thought and repetition. And I think one of the best ways to do this is to slow journal. So how do we slow journal? So what you want to do is have a blank page in front of you or a piece of paper. I want you to sit down for 3 to 5 minutes and be completely still and just allow your brain to go crazy. Like your brain might just have like 1,000,001 ideas and thoughts going through your head. So after the time is up, I want you to write down everything that came to your head, you know, the ideas, the concepts that you've been learning about from a book or an article. Specifically, I want you to write down the things and relate them to your life, because the goal is to create connections with the information that we're learning. And I think this is one of the best ways to do it, because it enables you to understand the foundations and the topics a lot easier, and you can remember it a lot faster. And I think you'll just be amazed by the interesting ideas that rise to the surface when you just sit down and you think about what you've learned. And the benefits of slow journaling, you know, it creates like this mental and emotional clarity. You can build connections that helps you retain the information better. You know, I think writing down the foundations helps you understand the ideas and like kind of like broadens and strengthens the level of understanding that you can, you know, get from the topic or the concept. So writing down the foundations, I think, helps you understand the ideas on a broader and stronger level. But to be fair, I would actually suggest using a physical journal rather than like just on your Todoist or like on your phone. There's been studies showing that like writing on paper activates more brain stimulation than typing. I think that's the reason why I brought an Apple Pen to do like my mind mapping on Notability, but I'm still learning. I am absolutely rubbish with it. So the second thing to do to become a clearer thinker is to use ultraspeaking.com. So the reason why we want to use ultraspeaking.com is because we want to be able to like articulate our points verbally. I think it's easy being able to write our points down on a piece of paper, but being able to fully articulate yourself and sound like a bit of a smart ass is definitely important. I think it can create new opportunities when you're meeting people, you know, having the ability to like expand on your points and sounding like very sophisticated conversations with people. You know, I think it can eventually expand your network, and you know what they say about that, yeah, your network is your net worth. So I think at the end of the day, relationships are based on value exchange, and if you can bring new information to people's lives and change the way they see the world, I think that's an extremely valuable thing to have. It's just like Jordan Peterson. Like, all of us want to be friends with Jordan Peterson just because he can just make our brains just fucking blow up of knowledge and wisdom. And I think like the value that he can bring just based on his communication skills is just insane. So if we can replicate a little bit of that, I think we'll just go far in terms of expanding our network and eventually just making our lives improve over time. So Ultra Speaking is a website where you can practice and enhance your speaking abilities. There's multiple games you can play to, you know, improve how you speak. Like there's ones that focus on the tone of your voice, like Conductor. There's ones that can, you know, help you remain feeling confident when you're speaking in rapid fire or autocomplete or rapid fire analogies. Or there's other ones that can actually help you create confidence in how you speak, which is Timer, which is the game we want to use in order to articulate our ideas and concepts that we learn. So I'm going to do an example for you guys. So basically what I'm going to do is use the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, and I'm just going to discuss a concept in this book and just use the timer to kind of show an example. So here it is. Okay, so I'm just about to jump on the game, the timer on the Ultra Speaking. So I'm basically going to do how to build wealth and the principles he kind of goes through in this book. So let's share the screen on here. Let's embarrass myself full of millions of people. Millions. Probably won't even get more than like 3 views on this. Let's just go. So usually when you go on the game, it's got a toggle that says suggest a title. You can do that if you want to do like random topics, but because we're doing it strictly for the book, then we're going to take that toggle off. So I'll do it for a minute, because I think 30 seconds is a bit too short. So we'll do it for a minute and go. Okay, so the wealth building principles that he introduces in the Almanac of Naval Ravikant is basically, the first principle he introduces is being able to use your time effectively and not exchanging your time for money, because this is a mistake that a lot of people make. It's best to have assets in businesses or having assets in property that will acquire wealth over time if you do it in a good quality way. I think another principle would be expanding your network and playing long-term games with long-term people, and I think network is one of the best ways to expand your reach and expand opportunities in the business market. And another principle could be what's another principle? So a principle could be the love you have for your business. So he explains it in terms of playing and using the term play into don't know, fuck knows. It's like my mind just like beep, beep. So it's kind of like an example of how you can articulate yourself, and that was really, really bad. But the second time, it's going to be more focused, it's going to be more channeled, and it's going to be, you're going to enjoy it more, and it's going to come out a bit more, you know, free flow, and it's going to be a lot better. So that is how you play this game. And there's a lot of other games on here as well that you can kind of channel towards learning concepts and ideas from books, but that is an extraordinarily bad example of how you play the timer game. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was definitely embarrassing, but you know, I think one of the things that we learn about this is picking a concept in the book and just being able to talk about it and just trying to retain that information. And I think it's all about reps. It's all about reps. It's all about making mistakes. It's all about failing. It's all about making reps to build that stronger connection to the information in the book. So if you're shit, just keep being shit and you'll eventually be better. That's literally how it works. So being able to articulate yourself today is so important. It's such an important skill because you want to be able to stand out with your speech and create opportunities for yourself and your family. Jordan Peterson says, nothing makes you more competent as a person than being able to communicate effectively. Now, it's all fun and games, but you know, it's all about practicing and putting the time in, putting the reps in, but enjoying it as well, being passive, because like I said earlier, when you're stressed, the process is just going to be diminishing returns, and you know, it's all about enjoying the whole process. But part of the process is reading books. Now, I actually love reading books, but sometimes you kind of can't be asked. So I've made a video here. I'm all about, you know, reading books when you really can't be bothered. And yeah, hope you click on it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.